Hey everybody, it's the Mad Master here. This is a follow-up video to the one I just did, which hopefully won't be removed for you from YouTube. I did not really make a lot of claims in it. I just was talking about more of the philosophical underpinnings of how I think that the virus crisis is like the new war in Vietnam, which I started thinking about actually earlier last year, like May, June. I was like, something that just gives me this historical parallel in my head. Because at first I thought 9/11, like the new normal, all this stuff, like, oh, it's and I thought it was like a conspiracy kind of stuff going on with it, which turns out there may have been some stuff with the Wu-Tang Han Solo clan lab leak hypothesis, which is still hasn't been talked about in the media last month, but before, when Jon Stewart even talked about it, my God, man, that was a fucking turning point moment for me. I was like, I have been justified. These people that are no longer, or not friends with me anymore because I was actually like questioning everything that happened since the beginning. Well, they're eating crow now, aren't they? And they will be eating crow more in the future. Mark my fucking words. Anyways, so this one is about, I started talking about this in the last video and I didn't finish. It was the Vanguard. I watched this video of the Vanguard. I watched Jackson Hinkle. There's a lot of leftists that I'm watching now. And of course I watch Romanian V. I even watch Salty Cracker, even though I don't agree with a lot of his politics, but I think his takes are really funny sometimes. Really offensive too sometimes, but I watch right wing and far left and far right, channels right now. That's what I do. That's how I get my opinion. The horseshoe theory isn't work. You're just a horseshoe person. The political horseshoe theory. So this one, this is an interesting thing, because what happened in Wisconsin is that Tony Evers, the governor, offered $100 for people to take the jab, right? It was a recent announcement. And I'm like, would I take the jab for $100? I'm like, after all that I went through with all this stuff, I did it for other reasons, of course, but I'm just saying, if I was like hesitant or whatever, which I probably, if I could take it back, I probably would be. Honestly, I probably wouldn't have taken it, looking at what's happening now with all this stuff, because I'm so pissed at everything that's happening. But we'll see what happens, of course. I already did take it, but the Big Johnson's bait shop one, of course. Big Johnson and other Big Johnson, or whatever. I'm just using code words. I have to use a lot of code words on YouTube for this kind of stuff, this kind of thing. So I was thinking about this because who was going to take it for $100, right? It's like $100 to me is, I just paid a guitar to fix a guitar for $70. Got some pickups installed and stuff, and it's like I'll spend $100 on I admit I drink Starbucks. On Starbucks coffee in a month. $100 is not that much money. And for someone that's poor and doesn't have time to take off of work or whatever to get the jabba-do, is that really a good thing to promote as far as that goes? What I'm saying is that a lot of the way that this has been handled as far as the carrot part of it has been really minuscule and dumb. Just the whole DIBLASIO video, which is almost like mockable in such a disgusting way. You can get these free burgers and these free fries if you get the jab. It's like, okay, you know how patronizing that seems to your average person, especially someone that's skeptical. You're watching all this David Icke and Alex Jones and James Corbett stuff, and you're like, what the fuck is this guy doing? It's like, it's the dumbest thing ever. Treating you like you're a baby. You're like a little kid. Hey, you can get free candy. Yeah. It's like, just get this needle in your arm. You get free candy. It's like this clown on TV, like offering this free candy if you get this needle, right? It's the dumbest thing ever. And Tony Evers doing this $100 thing is like, okay, well, $100 is like I think my car insurance is not even. I think my car insurance is more than $100. My rent is $750. It's going to go up in a couple months. my car is like 260 or whatever. My student loans are $1 million or whatever. I have to say, I'm just exaggerating, but it's like they're tying really stupid, frivolously small things to getting the jabba jabba do as an incentive, when the stick is a lot worse. And that just it's very lopsided. It's like, you know, I remember Clint Eastwood and was in one of these movies, and they had to have the girl on these like platform shoes because it was like that was the height of Clint Eastwood, and the girl was like this tall in one of those like Magnum Force, I think it was. I know I'm just thinking of something lopsided. I don't know. It's just these memories that come across, just like this lopsided thing. And it's like, people are not gonna take it for $100 or a chance to win that $10,000. I could call the fucking radio station and get a chance to win a couple $1,000s. Am I gonna get something in my body, you know, for whatever reason, for $1,000 or $100? But now we're talking $1,000. I'm intrigued. You know, $1,000. I could buy a new amp, new guitar. I'm just saying, if I didn't hadn't had it, which I probably you know, at this point I regret it, honestly, because of all the bullshit in many ways. So, not that I had any issues with it, I did not, but I felt a little tired afterward. But I think that was probably because, and I felt like that before at night like that, so it might have just been I was just tired, or just had sugar rush, whatever. I don't know if it was related or not. I wasn't even hardly sore for a day. I had the tetanus shot like a few years ago, and that hurt for far more days than this shit. I'm just being honest. This is my experience. Doesn't mean other people don't have all sorts of weird shit that happens. Of course, I believe that. So I'm just thinking 1,000. That's a little more intriguing. 2,000. Well, I have this business thing I'm trying to do, which I'm having a lot of contention with the person I'm trying to do it with right now. But it's like, oh yeah, that could help with that for sure. $3,000. Oh, now we're talking. You know, I think $3,000 to $5,000. I would, you know, if I were doing it today, if I hadn't had it today, they were offering me $3,000 to $5,000. I would fucking do it, you know. And especially if I was a poor person, you know, and they guaranteed, like, oh yeah, you can do it, and you know, we'll check in with you every few weeks, see if you're doing okay with it, and you know, stuff like that. You know, have support for people, not just throw them out, you know, and say, there you go, you know. Especially with all the conspiracy stuff that goes around about it, and that's not only dumb conspiracy stuff. Whitney, you know, I'm not going to say the names, because you know, there's a lot of stuff that's going around. A lot of it's bullshit. Most of it's bullshit, right? I mean, most like the Q-unique, I'm trying to, or Q-ball stuff is dumb, right? All the Q-ball, James Bond, the Q-ball, whatever. I'm just, you know, trying to those algorithms are gonna, you know, hit my video. Hopefully not, but you know, it's like $3,000 to $5,000. That's what I responded on Twitter. I was like, well, three to 5,000, or maybe I said 2,000 to 5,000, but I think 3 to 5 would be good. You're pulling out these troops from these other countries. If you're gonna spend all this trillions of dollars on all this pork and bullshit and fucking lobbyists and stuff to pay back lobbyists and, you know, military industrial complex bullshit, why not spend it on the people that need it and have that as an incentive to do this thing, instead of giving them $100 or free donuts at Krispy Kreme, just some of the most patronizingly, insultingly little carrots that you can offer. And then you have these other things holding the stick over people's heads. It's completely out of bounds and insane and authoritarian and bullshit. And this is why I am so militantly against that. It's because they did not give people shit for the carrot part. Oh, $100, and it's insulting to people that are, you know, more, you know, whether or not they're poor or lower middle class that are refusing, or just people that are, you know, more on the conspiratorial side, or just more like scared about side effects or whatever. They did not do jack shit about that. They just said, oh, we're gonna give you free, like Tony Evers, $100, huh? wow, $100. I think I could maybe pay off a couple parking tickets with that and maybe go out to Taco Bell one night. Oh, nah, no thank you. You know, it's the dumbest. It's so out of bounds. It's just so out of, it's just so ridiculous. I can't even think of the words right now. If I was writing this as an article, of course I'd find out the words, some better words in my articles, but it's just, it's so silly. It's silly. It's just like, it's like a fucking, like, dare I say it, like a pedo or something coming up with like, oh, it's free candy, hey, you know. It's like, it's just treating people like little kids and like immature little brats and stuff. Well, those people are brats because they refuse the mask and then they refuse the jab. And it's like, well, I just posted this thing on Facebook and it was like these people that were saying they wouldn't take Trump's jab, months later attacking people that weren't taking the jab. So it's like, and that was like September, October, they were saying, oh, if he comes out with it next month or a month from then, I'm not taking it. It's like, oh, total hypocrisy, you know, the blue check fucking douchebags and douchettes, right? So I propose this, you know, if they want people to do this shit, take it fucking seriously. If you're giving people $100, is that worth risking lives? Just giving someone, it's like $100. Well, what if you're not taking it serious? You're not showing that you're taking it seriously by having the carrot so damn small. If it's this serious, if it's that serious, the virus, if it's that fucking serious for people, why are you giving people so little as an incentive? That's my point. Why only $100? Why only Krispy Kreme donuts or fucking, you know, free red box code or some shit, you know? I mean, it's just appallingly stupid and moronic and just like, it's idiocracy. I mean, it's just completely stupid. It's just clownish at this point. And this Vanguard, back to the Vanguard video, the guy was talking about, and I'm sorry about how convoluted this video, but the guy was talking about like $1,000. Yeah, we should have given people $1,000 to get that to jabba do. That would have been better, right? And I was like thinking back to my Twitter thing from yesterday, because I watched this video today and I made that comment yesterday. So synchronicity times 10 right there. But it's like, they want people to do this. You're gonna have to give them more than $100. A lot of these people are very hesitant for a reason. You're gonna have to address those reasons too. But also, the carrot is it's like microscopic, and it's like if you have like a giant fucking like, trying to think, like the Marshmallow Man has like a big stick, like a big giant, you know, the Stay Puft Marshmallow. It's like Negan's baseball bat, like giant size, and then you have like a literally microscopic little carrot, you know. That's what it's like. It's like you're giving people $100. Wow! Oh my God, Tony Evers, we're really gonna stop hesitancy that way. People are just gonna be lining up for that $100. $100. Oh my God! I'm gonna get in line right away for $100. I could fucking like sell a couple of my CDs for $100, because I don't mean my band CDs. I mean my collection. Because looking on eBay, some of these things are worth like $50 now. You know. I could fucking donate blood and get $100 within a matter of days. I could, you know, $100 ain't shit, and neither is Krispy Kreme donuts. You're promoting what is causing a lot of the, you know, mortality rate to be higher, but at the same time too, by burgers and fries and fucking Krispy Kremes. I wish I did a video about this months ago, because this is so stupid and hilarious. And this new thing is so dumb. It's so stupid. And, you know, people that want to like, oh, well, yeah, it's just, and people that attack people, why don't they just get the jab? Why? We wouldn't be going through this if they had the jab. Well, do you fucking blame them by these stupid, this condescending bullshit that's going around? Like telling them they you get a free McDonald's Happy Meal with your jab. It's like, we're not little kids, you know? We're not little babies. You're talking to grown adults for the most part. You know, I don't think they've approved. I don't remember if they've approved it for certain ages at this point. We're talking about, you know, grown adults that have been through a year and a half of hell a lot of the time. They lost their business. They were scared of dying. They were, you know, told that they were evil for seeing their, their parents or their family or their friends or their girlfriend or boyfriend if they didn't live with them. Just, you know, they were told they were total selfish assholes. They've been, and you know, there was this infamous Twitter thread done by this guy. He's like, first we were told we were this, you know, it was from the Trump thing beyond, you know, just about those types of people. Those types of people, right? They are people. You know, first we were told we were insane Nazis, blah, 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 blah. You know, it goes to everything to this day. It's like all this stuff that's piled on. And of course, a lot of those people are hesitant as well, that I'm talking about. And a lot of people of color are hesitant for obvious reasons. You know, what are you going to do? Just tell people, yeah. And that's just like bullshit. It's like this liberal, like do-gooder, like half-ass white liberal Karen, like hypocritical bullshit. Ooh, $100. We'll get some food stamps too. How about that? You know, it's not going to affect real change. You're not going to get people to do it if you give them $100. I laughed out loud. $100. Wow. Thanks, Tony Evers. Now I can pay $30 more for this transformer I wanted to buy. You know, it's like, oh my God, 100, or actually $60 more. I think it is actually. Or, you know, oh, maybe that's a down payment on a new amp. Oh, like not really, because it's like would be like $150 or $200 for a down payment. Well, it's part of a down payment for, a new couch. I mean, I like this couch, but I'm just saying, it's just so dumb. Like, that's not going to affect real change. What you have to do, if this is really that important, this is really that dire, if the stakes are this high, this fucking high, as the media, the politicians, the health professionals, at least some of them, not all of them, some of them are a little more balanced about it, right? They're making this thing so serious and so important, then $100 or a box of Krispy Kreme donuts at other places or whatever, it's a joke, literally, to the people that are hesitant. It's a joke. It's like, they're not going to take it seriously. They're not going to take it seriously at all. I wouldn't take it seriously if I was offered $100 to do this thing, right? And I've heard all sorts of stuff that they've offered, you know. Oh, you could, yeah. It's like, I think I did hear about a free Redbox rental or something like that. You know, maybe, you know, the stakes are just not they don't seem as high if they're offering so little, is my point. I mean, if let's say there was a Redbox thing or whatever, or Netflix or something. Free Netflix for life. Or free Redbox codes for life, just, you know, for this limited time, only 3 months. You can get free Redbox codes for life, or you can get Krispy Kreme donuts for 10 years straight, free, something like that, or $10,000, you know, or $3,000, you know, or we'll forgive your student loans, or, you know, stuff like that, or we'll forgive half of them, or something like that. But fucking $100, fucking box of donuts, that's an insult to any American that values freedom, liberty, and the freedom of choice, the freedom of bodily sovereignty, the freedom of, you know, freedom to their own body. It's an insult. It's a fucking insult. It's slapping you in the face. That's what it's doing. And they should be ashamed for offering so little for this thing if it's really that bad or important or dire. If they really cared that much, they would offer a fuck of a lot more. They just didn't care about covering their ass, being useless, bureaucratic fuck faces who care about their bottom line and their health and their wealth and not about the American people's. That's about all.